Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Jason France here at SufferCity, going over the first of a two-part video series discussing the movements as they relate to SufferFest 2021. Just 2 weeks away, October 2nd, October 3rd, we'll be right here whooping it on aggressively. And to help you prep and prepare, we're going to be going over our movement points of performance today. I got Emily here, as you know, as well as Brian Chan, both of whom are in fact SufferFest participants. But do you guys know what the course of work is?
We don't.
You don't know what the course?
Unknown.
Unknown to you guys, completely unknown.
We know the movements.
You know the movements, like everybody else out there, they know the movements, but they are still blind to what the actual course of work will be. Now again, we'll be doing another video and releasing what that will be, but today let's talk about some of these movements. In particular, our dumbbell clean and press, curl and press. We've been getting a lot of different names for this, but let's go ahead and talk about the specific points of performance that will be expected of you when you're in here Saturday, October 2nd for SufferFest 2021. Now I'm gonna have Emily go ahead and just lock herself right into the top. The key position here that we're talking about with our dumbbell curl to press, push and jerk, whatever. It's been called a lot of stuff, but here's what you're gonna have to happen. This is what we're seeing at the end of every rep. As you notice, Emily's feet are under the hips, her knees are locked out, her hips are locked out. You're also gonna see her elbows locked out with the elbows above, and as best you can, they're behind the ears. Now, this is exactly what we do wanna see at the top of every single rep. Thank you, Emily. Now I'm gonna have Brian go ahead and pick up these 50-pound dumbbells. He's gonna go ahead and clean through 3 of those reps that we were just talking about with Emily. You're gonna see Brian go ahead and swing through. He's gonna push all the way up to the top, points of performance are met there. Then at the bottom, his elbows must lock out at the bottom. Elbows must lock out at the bottom. These are clean reps right here, driving through the hips all the way to the top, elbows locked out, hips locked out, knees locked out, each and every one of those reps. Each and every one of those reps. Now, what are some common errors that we regularly see with this particular movement? Because there's a lot of them. There's also some other ways to approach it, but we're gonna be pretty specific with how we're approaching it here at SufferFest. So you may see Emily here. She's gonna go ahead and knock out a rep where she goes to push up to the top. You see she's getting the elbows not above and behind the ear. This is more of a horizontal style press that you're seeing here, not as vertical as we wanna see. As you're able to see, Emily's gonna punch up again, comes through, the dumbbells come forward of that frontal plane. That is an unacceptable no rep. All right, unacceptable no rep if those elbows are not breaching the ear line above behind the ear line. We want a good vertical press on that. Some other things you may see. Emily's going to give us one more demonstration here. Not going all the way down. She comes through, maybe she doesn't bend those or extend the elbows all the way through. You'll see here again, kind of keeping a bend in those elbows from the bottom of the rep all the way back up to the top. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you very much, Emily. And some other points of performance that we want to ensure we're hitting on, or things we cannot do with this particular movement. Emily, yes. Doing super demoing today, Emily is. Here's what we're gonna have. Go ahead. Now, she can push up. Notice the knees are not extended. The knees are not getting extended here as she's at the top of the rep. Those are no reps, ladies and gentlemen. Again, you're gonna see the knees not fully extending at the top. And this is something that will happen a lot of times with a push jerk or any type of a good push press. If we're not able to get the knees all the way through extension, it's gonna be a no rep on that case. Now, what about taking the dumbbells and swinging them between the legs? That is not an option. That is unacceptable. That will also be called a no rep. You cannot swing between the legs. So this is our dumbbell, curl the press, clean press jerk. Hey, it is what it is. You got the points of performance, locking them out at the top, locking them out at the bottom. Bing, bang, boom. That's your dumbbell curl to press. Now, as you know, the gentleman's dumbbell weight load is gonna be at 50 pounds per dumbbell. And for the ladies, you're gonna be at 35 pounds. Now, for our open heats, we will have some variable weight loads coming down to 40 pounds for the gentlemen and 25 pounds for the ladies. Dumbbell curl to press. All right, now here we are on the deadlift movement. The gentlemen are gonna be weight loaded at 225 on the competitive heats, ladies at 145. Gentlemen be at 185 on the open heats, and ladies 115 at that open heat. But let's look at the points of performance as they relate to our deadlift. Now Brian's gonna go ahead and mount the bar, good strong grip. Now the big points of performance we're looking for, of course, the bar must hit the ground each and every rep as Brian goes and lifts through, gets a nice pull to the top. His hips are in extension, as you're able to see. Knees are in extension. This is a beautiful deadlift. His shoulders are nice and rolled back. He comes right back down to the bottom. Squeezes, braces back up, locks it in. Notice again, the barbell hits the ground each and every rep. And one final one for good measure, Brian. Outstanding again. Notice the hips extension, knees extension. Hips, hips, hips have got to get through extension on that one. Hey, now what are some things we may see that won't necessarily qualify as a full rep on the deadlift? Now, it may not happen a lot, but it is possible. Emily's going to go ahead and show us what it looks like when we don't get all the way through the hips. Maybe the hips don't pull all the way through. See, she's sort of still bent over at the waistline a little bit. The knees are not even in full extension. And you do this enough times, it is a bit of an advantage, and you're going to get called on it. So that is a no rep option for us out there. So ensuring our points of performance are met on this deadlift, knees hip locked out, hips locked out all the way to the top. Barbell's going to hit that ground each and every rep. All right, that's your deadlift. All right, here we are at the wall ball shot. So as you may or may not know, ladies, you're going to be pushing a 20-pound ball up about 8.5 feet above ground level. Gentlemen, it's going to be a 30-pound ball. You're just at about 10 feet above ground level. Now again, the points of performance, pretty basic, but let's cover them down. Emily, go ahead and give us a good high quality, full range of motion wall ball shot. Now again, the hips getting below the knee line. Big point of focus here. Notice how deep below the knee line Emily's hips are getting. Ball's flying right above that line, and the ball must actually hit the wall. It is called a wall ball shot, and so ensuring hips go all the way down, ball goes above that line. Emily, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Thank you, love. Sensational. Now, what happens if we're not exactly meeting all those points of performance? Brian's going to go ahead and give us a little bit of a demo where maybe he's just taking some free throws. The butt doesn't get all the way down. Maybe the ball's getting all the way up. But as you see here, he's basically taking some jump shots, not exactly getting the hips down. These are going to be called no reps on you. And then you may find as well, what happens if the ball goes up above the line but doesn't necessarily hit the wall? Coming down, he drives up. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a no rep. That is a no rep. So some things to consider with regard to the points of performance as they relate to your wall ball shot. All right. All right, welcome to the sled push to pull. You got Emily here behind the ladies sled. As you see, 3 plates well stacked on there for the competitive heat. Ladies of our open heat, it'll be a 2-plate sled push to pull. Now, gentlemen, Brian's here behind the 4-plate sled for our competitive gentlemen. Our open heat gentlemen will be pushing a 3-plate sled. All right, so now Emily's going to go ahead and just give us a basic closed grip push. This is all you got to do. Pretty basic with our sled push. She's driving all the way down, but we do need to get across that line. Sled's got to breach that line. She's going to come down. She's going to pull it back now. And that's it. Points of performance are get the sled down, get the sled back. That's what we're going to be looking for here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Em. And then we'll have Brian go ahead and just push the gentleman's sled as he's got his arms extended. As you saw Emily with the more closed grip, Brian's open with a good extension through the arms. Either or are acceptable, ladies and gentlemen. This is a pure preference type of a movement. Brian's going to go ahead, drop nice and low again. Again, you'll hear a lot of the coaches encourage to keep the hips low, the core engaged. Fantastic movement here as the legs get fried. And you'll see Brian's going to pull all the way to the end. Now again, if we're not able to get that sled all the way down, you will have an official, a referee there to kind of coach you through it, but that sled's got to get all the way down, otherwise that is a non-lap. And you don't want to push this any more than you have to push this, let me tell you. All right, so hey, this is our sled push to pull, which you'll see here at SufferFest.